Hi guys, and welcome back. I know you've probably seen a ton of videos already on people who, mix all of their foundations, but I really thought it would be fun to try, especially considering I have so few foundations that really do well on my skin that, maybe this concoction, maybe it can be good. I really don't know. You can probably tell I am still congested because the weather here in Texas just cannot make up its mind. It's warm, it's cold, then it's really cold, then it freezes, and then today, I woke up and it was 37, and tomorrow it's supposed to be 76. What? Anyway, I've seen a lot of people have pretty decent success with this, so I am going to hope for the best, but just kind of keep my expectations, right about here. And I think that's about it. I have a lot, and by a lot, I mean like probably 40 to 50, which is really embarrassing, of foundations to get through, so let's go ahead and just get mixing. Even though that clip was sped up, I know you can tell that there were a crap ton of foundations, and there were definitely some that I had trouble with. There were some that I didn't even get to put in this container because I didn't feel like with the new Tarte foundations, the matte and the hydrating, it has that little doe foot applicator, and I just didn't, one, I didn't want to dip the doe foot in this concoction, and two, tilting it didn't get anything out, so I didn't want to contaminate one way or the other, so I just left it out. I had some that were just nasty, like the Marc Jacobs one just leaked water everywhere, and ugh. Anyway, I didn't want to tamper with anything. It is what it is, and that was what ended up in this container. So, as you can tell, I mixed it up with the end of a brush that was cleaned, so no other contamination there. But, ugh. This is what we have. Not sure how this is going to go. I've seen people, this does so well with them. But I have so many foundations that are too dark for me. I I had no rules with this. If I liked it, if I didn't like it, if it was too dark, too light, I still put it in here as long as I owned it. I think the only other one that I didn't include was the cushion foundation because I had already made enough of a mess by that point that I just said no. We're just not doing that one. But other than that, love it or hate it, it's in this jar. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on with my Eco Tool sponge like I normally would because I think that's the fairest way to do it. This is my favorite way to apply foundation, and if I'm going to like it, I'm going to like it the best with this. So I really don't want to like put my fingers in there and contaminate it too with germs or anything, so ooh. I honestly might just use the end of this brush kind of as my tool and just dot it on with the brush because I did, oh, it's so cold. I did sanitize the end of this brush before putting it in there just in case. I don't know how I feel about this. It already looks terrible, but I guess let's give it a try. Okay, so just with that first little bit, I don't know about like how it feels yet. It doesn't really feel tacky or sticky or anything, but the color is surprisingly not that terrible. Alright, let's put some on this side. I gotta find out how to get my nose somehow here. For a second, when you first put it on and you start blending it, it looks super full coverage. And then as you start blending it out, it like loses it and it really shears it out. It's kind of weird. So far, I give this points for being a pretty decent shade match. But other than that, you know, it goes on. Initially, it looks so full coverage. And, you know, as you are blending it out with the sponge, it just starts shearing it out. And that's partially due to using a sponge, but it's also like the cakiest my foundation has ever looked. And I'm guessing that's in part because this is 50 different foundations. Alright, so after doing my concealer and setting everything down, it's one, still extremely tacky, and two, it kind of helped to even it out a little bit, but it's already creasing on me really bad. So, my smile lines right here, this one's not so bad. So I don't really understand. But this one is just like the Grand Canyon over here. It's settling up here, and it's even creasing along my lip. And no foundation I've ever worn has ever creased there. What? Alright, so the rest of my makeup is on, and I honestly think that it just made it worse. When I was highlighting, it went on well everywhere, you know, on my cheekbones, up around my temple, and then when I took the brush down my nose and I started highlighting on my nose, and then I ran it across the tip of my nose real quick, it started to take the foundation off. So now I have this little red, like, Rudolph spot here, because my nose is really red from being so congested, and it's shiny. And then I thought, okay, why don't I use a more dewy setting spray? Maybe it'll kind of remedy things and it'll give it a little more life. So I used my MAC Fix Plus. I just always keep it around here for wetting brushes, and I think it looks like 10 times worse with the Fix Plus. It looks so bad. It's emphasizing all of the texture in like creasing up here. It's creasing under my eyes. It's creasing around my smile lines. It's creasing in places that I didn't know I had creases yet. Also, after everything that I've done, it's still super tacky. It hasn't really set down at all. So if this was a real foundation, so if you were, you bought this in a grocery store, in a Sephora or Ulta or whatever, I think out of 10, I would probably rate it a 3, maybe, and that's kind of being generous. The only reason I even give it the 3 points out of 10 is strictly for the shade. Like, it looks really good, though. I have so many foundations that are too dark, but I also have a couple that are too light. So I guess mixing them together really helped, but, like, the shade is really, really good. It was an awful foundation as far as foundations go, so, boo. So this was just one of those videos that I really just had to try for myself because, one, curiosity killed the cat, and I was very curious. And if curiosity did kill the cat, I'd be dead right now. But, it's one of those things that you have to try for yourself to get the full effect. And oh, I got the full effect alright. It sucked. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It was super fail, but sometimes, that's how videos work out. They'll be really fail. And it's fun to try though. Like, it was so fun to mix them all up. And if you guys actually watch that whole bit of footage with me squirting the foundations into the little container, my cats visited a couple of times too because they were really interested in whatever I was doing. So, and if you guys have tried this and it turned out really well for you, leave me a note in the comments below and let me know what kinds of foundations you used, because I have a feeling it'll work a lot better with foundations that aren't mine. And remember, if you guys enjoy these videos, don't forget to give them a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below or right up here next to my face. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys!